Ishtar, you're more than a country, you're a state of mind. Hello, Morocco, you're equally pretty, you're never gonna get left behind. Hello, romance. Hello, adventure.
They wrote the music and the lyrics.
That's fun I've had so far. Here in Morocco, I found the spirit of it.
Ishtar and its director, Elaine May, were both victims of the times. May was one of the funniest, most assured auteurs of the 1970s. After making 3 singularly hysterical and cynical masterworks, she took a long break from directing, and during that time, the world changed. The cultural landscape shifted.
I don't want to live in the street. I want to be warm in the winter time. You took my love and my money. Come on! You took my loot and my speed.
I'm quitting high school cause you don't like me. You don't take me.
Telling the truth can be dangerous business. Honest and popular don't go hand in hand.
And nothing suffered more of a precipitous comedown than the American studio comedy. May's rambling, acidic character studies had been replaced by a gleeful embrace of the lowest common denominator. Pleasing crowds was now the job of happy-ending guaranteed rom-coms and lowbrow frat house romps. The formula for comedy in this era eluded even the brightest minds. Great American filmmakers like Steven Spielberg and Robert Altman.
What do you have there? A new toy. It's better than Legos.
Tried to make 80s audiences laugh and failed dismally. Elaine May fared even worse. Ishtar's disastrous box office and critical performance is the stuff of Hollywood legend. People who will never see it know that it's synonymous with failure, which is cruelly ironic because, like the rest of May's eclectic filmography, Ishtar is a celebration of failure. The film follows aspiring songwriters played by Dustin Hoffman and Warren Beatty, both playing shockingly against type.
She said, come look, there's a wardrobe of love in my eyes. Take your time, look around and see if there's something your size.
Their dream takes them to the fictitious country of the title, the only place that'll have them, where they blunder into a foreign policy debacle involving the CIA, freedom fighters, and a tyrannical emir. If the film had been made in 1975 instead of 1987, it may not have fared any better with moviegoers than previous May films, but it may have acquired those films' reputations as idiosyncratic, misunderstood masterpieces featuring 2 of the decade's most charismatic actors.
Most men lead lives of quiet desperation.
Oh, is that right?
Asking Beatty and Hoffman to play tone-deaf, middle-aged dopes who become unwitting secret agents turned out to be incredibly smart casting, but it's such a peculiar choice that it can take the whole movie to get used to it.
Get out! Get out!
Forget it, Chuck.
They're gonna come back and kill us!
Come on.
That big, dumb, stupid-ass camel, he'd rather just sit there than move when you ask him. He'd rather get shot.
Actually, I kind of admire that.
Me too.
Yeah.
Indeed, many of the movie's charms only register during the second viewing. But once it's clear what's happening and why, Ishtar becomes one of the most touching mainstream films of the 80s.
Chuck, I know how bad you feel, but there's people in this world worse off than you. Poor people, you sick people, people who haven't got anybody to go out on a ledge for them. Come on, give me your hand. Come on, Chuck.
Much of the humor and style of the film is deliberately old-fashioned. From the terrible songs Hoffman and Beatty labor over.
I met her, fell.
Yes.
I loved her well.
Yes.
She walked out hell.
Yes.
Oh, heartbreak.
To the plot, which comes right out of a Bob Hope and Bing Crosby movie from the 1940s.
You think we got enough gas? I got our carburetor cut down to nothing. Where do you suppose we are? This must be the place where they empty all the old hourglasses.
And though it's buried under a lot of globetrotting, bad music, appalling fashion, and the occasional perfunctory set piece, the heart of the film is 2 friends who love each other, warts and all.
Nothing ever happened to us. Willa left me, played a couple of clubs.
Nothing to write home about.
Right. Now we're gonna die in the desert shooting at helicopters.
That ain't poverty.
That ain't poverty.
That ain't
That's
poverty,
not the night of the high knot blues.
Folks have not got soles on their shoes.
We didn't need a pencil.
Elaine May set out to preserve an older comic sensibility and an outdated sensitivity to its flawed heroes, and predictably, audiences didn't respond. If Beatty and Hoffman have to survive first as songwriters, then as accidental spies, May's particular kind of film, rough around the edges but big-hearted, was trying to survive in a hostile climate where one harsh word from a producer could turn a $55 million comedy into a disaster before a single screening had taken place. The era where bad buzz could kill a film had officially arrived. Ishtar's death at the box office also claimed May's directing career as collateral damage, and sent a message that movies with genuine love for their characters were an endangered species. Unlike Spielberg or Altman, May never recovered from her misfortune, and the world's been a poorer place without her.
Yesterday we told you you would not go far. That night you open and there you are. Stay on your dressing room